Today's video is going to be very short, sweet, and straight to the point. I had a question from Dent Zero. He asked, how do you get on the hell trail? Well, we're going to answer that right now. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs down if you didn't, and let me know why, of course, you did or did not like the. So, how do you get on the hell trail? Well, there's a lot of different ways to get on the hell trail. For example, you can do networking with social media platforms such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, things like that. For example, on Facebook, they have Dent Facebook groups such as Dent Techs Only, Dent World. There's so many. There's just so many. It's overwhelming, all these Facebook groups. I was a part of so many for such a long time, and I wasn't really on there asking questions or anything like that. I was just on there kind of seeing what other people were doing, learning. So that's kind of one of the ways I got onto the hell trail was through Facebook. Someone had a Facebook business page. I thought it was an actual Facebook Dent group. This is when I first got on the Facebook forums, which was, I think it was 2015, 2015, something like that. Because a local Dent guy told me, hey, you need to check out Dent World on Facebook. I had no idea. I wasn't even on the Facebooks or anything. I didn't know any of that existed. So I did, and that's kind of where it snowballed from there. And I met quite a few people through Facebook, and I got my first gig doing hell. I was actually an R&I tech for a company, and it was awesome. And I enjoyed that. That's kind of how I started doing R&I. I knew I could fix dents, but you know what? I had to get my foot in the door, and there was an R&I spot available, so I took that route. And it was a great opportunity. I worked for 14 other dent guys doing all the R&Is, headliners, hoods, deck lids, taillights, you name it. It was Toyota and a Dodge dealership in Dallas, Texas, and I worked there for 5 weeks, and it was great. I enjoyed it. So that's one way of going into the hell trail. Another way is they have the Mobile Tech Expo in Orlando, Florida. You can go out there. It's usually in January. And just meet guys, talk to them, shake their hand. Hey, I'm Dennis Alexander. How are you doing? What's your name? Where you from? How'd you learn? You know, whatever. And I've been to a few of those, and I don't really talk to people. I'm not a people person, so I just kind of scope the scene. Usually people will somebody will say something to me, and then we'll get interacting from there. And I've gotten much better at that since then. I'll walk up to people and I'll say hey to them or whatever. Another way, and the people do that, and they go to dinners at night. Everybody goes. Some people go to bars or whatever, have drinks, and they'll talk. That's a great way. A lot of people like that. I haven't done that yet, so I don't really know, but I know techs who have, and they said it was great for them. So that's a way to do it. Another way you can get on the hell trail is probably the most simplest way, but it can be very time consuming and heartache, and it's tough. And I've done this, but it works out if you do it. If you're able to land something, land a deal, because you're on the hell trail, you can't really build a relationship with the body shop, so you're landing deals. So this is what you do. You download an app on your phone, weather app, forget what they're called, there's so many. That basically it tells you the forecast for 3 to 5 days for hail, thunder, lightning, wind and tornado, things like that. And you can kind of predict, hey, they got a severe chance of hail in Minnesota. And then they got a moderately severe, about a 15% chance in Texas. So 40% in Minnesota, 10, 15 in Texas. Depends where you want to go. And you can make that decision. And I did that decision. I went to Minnesota, and overnight I was woke up the next morning out of my hotel, and bam, wouldn't you know it, held in Dallas, Texas. I was like, all right. Yeah, that's what happens. They held in Dallas, Texas, and I didn't work in Dallas that year. So that's the way to do it. Kind of predict where you think the storm might go and go to that town before the storm hits. And then when it hits, boom, guess what? You're the first one there. So when you do and it hits, this is what you can do. You can do a Google search of all the local PDR companies. You can call them directly. They're going to be overwhelmed with phone calls already from their customers and everything like that. But guess what? That's what they're in business for, to answer that phone. So give them a call. I promise you, when it hails here in Raleigh, North Carolina, not only do I get phone calls from customers and things like that, out-of-state technicians call me. And it's just part of doing business. If they treat you terribly or disrespectful to you because you're asking them for work, essentially, or whatever it may be, and they're disrespectful or rude to you, you don't want to do business with a person like that. In my opinion, I wouldn't do it. And you know what? Almost the overwhelming majority of people that I've called, they were super nice to me. Nobody was ever disrespectful, except for, actually, I don't even know. I don't think anybody ever was, to be honest with you. It's probably just in my head. Because we're telling ourselves stories. Oh, man, they were mean to me. That's why I didn't get that job or land that deal. No, that probably wasn't it. They probably were overstaffed or fully staffed at that point. They just didn't need any help. So that's reality. Another way to get on the hill trail is to do this. It's very simple. Let's say it hails in your local market, and people call you. You don't know. Let's say you don't know anyone, because most people starting off, we don't know people. That's how it was for me. I didn't know anybody. So, and you build this little account up. You got a little website going, and all of a sudden, you have 2 or 3 body shops that you do business with throughout the year, and boom, they all have hell. You can't do it all by yourself. One person cannot manage a hailstorm for a body shop, 2 or 3 body shops. You can do one, but 2 or 3 is not going to happen. I promise you, there's no way in hell you can fully provide a service to a body shop by yourself. You can't do it. No one can do it. I can give you plenty of examples for my local market, and I will later. When those phone calls come in and look out-of-state techs or people you don't know, in-state maybe, say, hey, we can help you out. Ask them the questions, vet them out, based on your experiences, which you probably don't have any if you haven't been doing it long. But if you do, you can use your common sense and go from there. Give them a shot. Give them an opportunity. And here's the thing. If you get hell in your market and you bring somebody in there to help you, you don't know who they are, ask them this question. Are you willing to reciprocate? That says a lot. Most of the time they're going to say yes. Ask them this. Hey, do you do work in your local market when it hails? I'll be willing to let you come in if you're willing to let me come in whenever you get hail somewhere. You can ask that simple question. And you can tell a lot by their response if they're truthful or not. So that's another way to get hail. And when you're on the hail trail, this is another great way. A lot of guys do this, and I think this is probably the best, especially for new entry-level hail technicians who want to get on the hail trail. Dealership wholesale, when a large dealership gets hit and they have 400 to 1,200 or however many 3,000 units on the ground that all have hail damage, these large PDR companies are going to be posted on the Facebook groups or whatever it may be, asking for help. And some of the times the money's not that great, but it's not about the money when you're first starting. I promise you it's not about the money. If it is, you're already going to be at a disadvantage because it's going to be hard for you to get money. It depends on what money means to you, like the certain dollar amount. It depends on what that means to you. But don't make it about the money when you're first getting into the hail trail. Make it about building relationships with techs, with other dent companies, and doing quality work. You don't have to be fast. Just do quality work. clean repairs. And if you're doing R&I, don't break stuff. Take your time, learn how the things come apart before you start ripping stuff off. Other guys are going to say, just rip it and grip it. Don't do that. Promise you, don't. Take your time, learn it. Think about, hey, how does the factory install these? Use that kind of mindset. And it'd be easier for you to take these things apart. But yeah, dealership wholesale accounts, big fleet accounts such as Enterprise, things like that. If you can find them, I mean, they're hard to find if you're not in the inner circle, but you have to be willing to do the research, and it takes a lot of time, and eventually you'll figure it out. So yeah, I think dealerships is great for any entry-level technician wanting to learn hell. The pay's usually not the best, but it's great for learning and meeting other techs. And then, hey, let's say you meet 5 techs. You build a friendly relationship out of the 20 or 30 you're going to see there. And one of those guys gets hell, and all their buddies are booked up, and they can't come help him. Hey, they may give you a call. Hey, Bob, Jeff, Dennis, please come help me. It's happened to me. I was an R&I tech in Dallas, Texas, and I met a really good friend of mine in the Hell Trail. He lives in Montana. Super great guy. And it's held twice in Montana, and he called me both times to come help him. And it was a great opportunity for me, and I really appreciated that. Just by being nice, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he thought I talked funny. He does mention that a lot. He thinks I talk funny. But maybe that's what it was. I talk funny. He said, hey, I want you to come work with me and use that country accent you got there, boy. I said, yes, sir. So you can do that. Let's see, what else? There's so many ways. You just got to get creative. Let's say, for example, you don't want to get on the hell trail per se and travel all over the nation and do work. You want to stay home. And when it hells, you want to take advantage of that opportunity. Well, that's all about building the foundation before it hells. What I recommend you do, and I think is the absolute great. For me, I think it's the best way. I don't know any other way better than this right now. But do your work before it hells. Say, for example, in the fall. It doesn't hell in the fall or winter for most places. So if you don't have accounts with body shops or relationships with body shops, go to those body shops. Tell them who you are. Tell them how you can help them when it hells. Even if they've already got a guy or a backup guy or a third backup guy for door dinging, say, hey, I'm not really interested in that. I want to help you when the hell comes. And then they'll be like, huh, yeah, that's awesome. Nobody ever, because when I do it, they don't even, people are like, what? Nobody wants to do that. They just want to fix our dents. So that's the way to do it. And then from there, they're like, hey, our backup guy can't make it. So you want to come fix this door ding for us? You're like, yes, sir. You go fix that door ding. And you fix it well. Because they're going to be like, man, wow, there's no pimples or anything. Like, what? Y'all actually can fix these dents that well? All right, thank you. And then that's how they'll call you from there, and you'll get more work from them. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the best, cleanest work out there to make money. And that's in any industry. But have integrity. Learn in your industry. Always be learning in your industry. And have the initiative to go out there and go pursue and find that work. That's the hardest part about in business for me personally, is finding the work, because it's not easy finding that work. So I think that's pretty much it for right now. I don't really know of anything else I can give you to help you get on the hell trail other than Facebook, social media platforms, LinkedIn. It's tough, but just Facebook groups. That's pretty simple. Go on there, tell them who you are, introduce yourself. I'm looking to get on the hell trail, and then a lot of people are going to laugh at you. Ha ha ha! Another guy wanting to be on the hell trail. That's to do that. Just go ahead and say, "Thank you, sir. Have a nice day." Here, just trying to help. That's all I want to do is help people. and build relationships. That way I can get better and I can grow my business. And that's what I want to do, help people. Because if you help enough people get what you want, eventually you'll get what you want. Zig Ziglar. He is great. I would recommend his books or audio books. They're amazing. Correction. You can get everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. More in-depth questions about the Hell Trail. This is just the absolute basics that I can come up with off the top of my head. Leave me a comment, or you can send me an email at Dennis, DNNIS, at dentbaron.com, and I will respond, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. As always, have a great day.